Hi, I'm Andrea and I'm your Pilates instructor here at Grow. Before I start, I'd just like you to check with your healthcare practitioner that they're happy for you to start some Pilates moves. These are going to be beginners Pilates moves, which I'll take you through. I'm going to take you through a warm-up first, which is going to set you up perfectly for going into some of our beginners sessions. At the end of those sessions, you're going to feel invigorated. You're going to feel taller and stronger. And I know that you're going to be keen to come back and try some more of those beginners sessions that we've got lined up for you. After those sessions, when you feel confident, you may even want to move on to the intermediate level. I'm going to introduce you to breathing first, which is really good and really important within Pilates. And we'll incorporate that into our warm-up. So let's get going. I'm now going to introduce you to some warm-up moves for the Pilates classes, and at the end of this you will feel ready to move into one of those beginners sessions. We're going to talk about breathing first of all. It is important with Pilates, and as you go through different classes it will become much more natural, I promise. Some people do get a little bit worried to start with, but it really will become much more natural. Okay, so we breathe in through the nose, taking the air down to the bottom of the lungs, expanding the rib cage to the front and to the sides. And as we breathe out, you breathe out through pursed lips. And that just helps you engage your deepest core muscle, which is your transverse abdominis muscle. Big scary word, but we call it a TVA for short. Now, there are 4 layers of your abdominals, and that transverse abdominis muscle attaches at the front and at your spine. So it's a really good supporting corset for everything within, from our spine through our abdominals and everything there. So really, really good to breathe in and engage that transverse abdominis muscle, and then exhale through those pursed lips, feeling that contraction and a little lift up on the pelvic floor. So if you didn't know already, your core muscles, as we describe them, are like a box. And at the top you have your diaphragm, and at the bottom you have your pelvic floor. And that's why we also really work on our pelvic floor within Pilates as well. So you want to have a little contraction of that pelvic floor. I'm going to take you down, and we're going to incorporate some of the breathing into an imprint and release of the lumbar spine. So if you need a little block, you can have a block behind your head. I do. So you start with your spine neutral, which means you've got a lovely S shape in your spine. So you're going to inhale with your spine in neutral through the nose. Expand the rib cage. As you exhale, imprint your lumbar spine, and then come back. Inhale through the nose into the bottom of the lungs. Exhale, use your obliques to rock your pelvis back. We'll do that for a couple more times. So in through the nose, and exhale, imprint your lumbar spine. Okay, so we're just mobilizing our lumbar spine. So one more time. Inhale and exhale, rock it back just to get that spine moving. Lovely. I'm going to move on to something called hip release. I'm just going to move this way a little so you can see my legs. So this is just to warm up our hip sockets here. So as you inhale, let that left knee drop out to the side and straighten that leg away from you. And then you're going to drag it back in. Okay. Inhale, take the left away. Exhale, draw it back in. We're going to do 2 more on this side. You're keeping your hips nice and level, so you're having to use your abdominals here to do that, okay? Inhale, take that leg away. Exhale, take the leg in. Keep that right knee pointing up towards the ceiling the whole time, okay? Right, let's go on to the internal rotation. Now you're going to rotate your left knee in, pushing the foot away, open out that hip, and back up to the start position. Inhale the leg away, and exhale, draw that leg back up. 2 more on this leg. Inhale. I like to put my hands on my hips here because it helps me make sure I'm keeping them nice and flat and level. And you're having to use your tummy muscles to do that. So we're working our core here. Switching over legs. Drop the right knee out. Push the foot away. And then draw it back in. Inhale, that leg away. Exhale, draw it back in. 2 more before we rotate that leg in. So exhale, back in. 1 more. Inhaling, taking that nice air down to the bottom of the lungs. Right, let's rotate this knee in. Rotate the knee in. Open out that hip joint. You're taking your hip joint through its full range of motion. It's something we don't do very often, and it's really useful to do this. Inhale the leg away. Exhale, back up. And then 1 more. That's it, just mobilizing those hip joints nicely. I'm going to move on to something called hip rolls. So I've taken that block from behind my head. My legs are like train tracks. My spine is neutral. I'm going to roll up through my spine here, okay? So I take a breath in to prepare. As I breathe out, I'm going to rock through my imprint and lift up to a nice full bridge, okay? I'm going to lengthen my knees away, and then I'm going to massage my spine back down. Such a lovely feeling. I love this one. Okay, breathe in through the nose. As you breathe out, rock back through your pelvis. Squeeze your glutes and lift up to a bridge. Inhale, lengthen the knees away. Exhale, roll down through those vertebrae, massaging your spine. We'll go for a couple more. Inhaling, exhale, roll through. Try and feel that you're lifting one vertebrae at a time. And as you melt them down, you're placing one down at a time. It's a really good way to articulate through your spine. Let's do 1 more. Inhale, exhale, roll up and lift through. Okay. Inhale, lengthen those knees away from you. Exhale, rolling down, massaging those vertebrae through. Okay, lovely. We're going to move on onto your hands and knees. I've got some nice moves here. So onto your hands and knees, wrists are under shoulders, spine is in neutral, neck is aligned with your thoracic, knees are hip distance apart. Let's go for some protraction and retraction of those shoulder blades. As you inhale, feel like you're pushing the mat away. As you exhale, contract and retract those shoulder blades, okay? Inhale, push the mat away. Exhale, retract the shoulder blades. It's a really good thing to try and connect to those muscles that work your shoulder blades because they work separately to the rest of the spine. Inhale, pushing the mat away, and exhale, retracting those shoulder blades. It's a smaller movement than you might actually think. We're trying to avoid going into the cat stretch. Okay, so we're just looking at moving those shoulder blades. That's nice. Now we've mobilized those. We're just going to do something called spine release here. You're going to take your left hand, okay, and you're going to thread, it's like thread the needle. You're going to thread this through. You're going to bend that supporting arm, and you're going to look towards your fingers. And then you're going to come back and place the hand back down. So it's an inhale to prepare, and an exhale, rotate through, getting a lovely rotational stretch here. And inhale and exhale to return. Let's go for 2 more on this side. So rotate through. And then return. And then 1 more on this side. So rotate through, bending that supporting elbow, looking towards your fingers, feeling a really lovely stretch there. I'm just going to do it on the other side. So we've got 4 more to do. Lift the right hand, bend through, rotate. Ooh, it's a very nice feeling, this one. And then return. Okay, inhale, prepare, keeping that abdominals lifted, keeping the pelvic floor lifted, exhaling away. 2 more on this side. Inhale, exhale, rotate through, looking towards your fingers. Feeling that really nice rotational stretch through the spine. 1 more. Inhale, exhale, return. And we're going to finish with the cat stretch, which is another lovely stretch here, okay? So you're going to lift the middle of your spine up towards the ceiling. So inhale to prepare. Everything starts neutral. Exhale. Lift up towards the ceiling, flexing through the spine. Inhale, try and increase that flexion, which is lovely. Exhale, soften back through the spine, rippling back to neutral. Again, inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, increase that stretch. Exhale, soften back through, opening out the glutes. Okay, couple more. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift. Squeezing the glutes, letting the head drop down. Inhale, exhale, soften back, coming back to neutral. We're going for one more. Inhale, exhale, lift, inhale, and exhale to soften back. We're going to sit you back into what's called a shell stretch now. Take the arms down, release the pressure in the spine, take a breath in as you breathe out. Bring yourself back up. So I've taken you through a warm-up now, the beginner's warm-up, and you'll be ready to move on to one of those beginner's sessions. You've mobilized your joints, you've mobilized your vertebrae and articulated through those vertebrae, and you should be ready now to move on. In today's class, you are going to feel taller. When you finish, you're going to feel more flexible and stretch, and we're really going to work on lengthening the spine and giving you that real flexibility and just a spring in your step. So let's get going. Okay, we're going to start supine, so on your back, and we're going to start with some toe taps. I'm going to just lay myself down. I have a head block. If you have a little head block and you like to use one, that's perfectly fine. So we're going to float one leg up into tabletop, imprinting the lumbar spine. And we will practice a little bit more of the tabletop practice. So float the other leg up into tabletop. Okay, and then with your exhale, you're going to tap down and bring that other leg down as well. So let's reverse that. So inhale with your spine in neutral. Exhale, imprint your lumbar spine. Float one leg up and the other leg up. Lower one leg and drop the other leg down. Okay, repeating that. Inhale and then exhale. Take the pelvis back, trying to use your oblique muscles to do it. So try and switch off the glutes. I know it's really hard. Float one leg up, imprinting your lumbar spine, and the other leg up. So you're now in tabletop position. And then take that leg down and the other leg down. Let's run through that a few more times. So we have our spine in neutral. Breathe in, breathe out. Rock the pelvis back into the imprinted. Then float the leg up and bring that other leg to join. And lower down and lower down. Okay, one more time. Neutral spine. Breathe in, rock the pelvis back as you breathe out, floating one leg up into tabletop and keeping it in tabletop. We're going to do a few toe taps from here. So inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, you're just hinging down and floating that leg back up again. So exhale, hinge down with the right leg. Good, and exhale. Inhale, float up. Exhale, lower the leg. We're maintaining the imprint in our lumbar spine, and we're just hinging at the hip. So my knee bend stays the same. So I'm hinging at the hip. We're not dropping our foot down towards the bottom because that's working the knee. We're hinging at the hip, keeping that knee bend the same. Try and relax the shoulders and float the leg back up to its tabletop position. Go for one more on each leg. So exhale down and exhale down. Lovely. And then place one foot down at a time. Okay. We're going to move on to single leg stretch. And we're going to keep one leg down for this exercise. Okay, so let's float the right leg up into tabletop. And this is the leg that you're actually going to extend away from you. Okay, so I'm going to lift my head and shoulders. So I'm going to inhale to prepare, nodding my head. As I exhale, I'm going to flex up and forward. I'm going to place my hands onto my right leg. As I exhale, I'm going to reach that leg away. Inhale, pull it back in, and exhale. And good, and 3 and 4. Trying to keep my upper body still. 5. We'll go for 8, 6, 7, and lovely. One more. Reach that leg nice and long. Bring it back in. Lower the head and shoulders down and place that foot down. Let's switch over legs. Float your left leg up into tabletop. Inhale to head nod, and then flex up and forward, lifting your head and shoulders. Now exhale that leg away for 1 and 2. Good, really pulling back on that quad. 3 will help keep your patella, so your kneecap, pointing straight up to the ceiling. Go for 3 more. 3 and 2. Lovely, and 1. Float that leg in and lower that leg back down again. Let's go for some obliques, and we'll keep both feet down for this one. So you're going to pop your fingertips by temples and draw the chin down as you inhale. As you exhale, flex up and forward. So we're going to inhale to stay. Exhale, rotate your shoulder towards the opposite knee. Inhale back to center, and exhale, rotate. Exhale, rotate. Inhale and exhale. Good, and exhale. So you're trying to work those cross tummy muscles, your obliques, by rotating and drawing the shoulder towards the opposite knee. Go for 2 more. 1 more. Inhale back to center, and exhale, lower those head and shoulders down. Well done. Okay, so rock yourself up, and we're going to do a little bit of spine twist. So you can have a larger block to sit on, okay, with your legs out straight. Or you can cross the legs as well. Okay, so that can make your lumbar spine feel nice and comfortable. If you're happy with the legs out straight, then go for straight legs, and you can lose the block completely if you feel really comfortable with it. So your arms are lifted, they're within your peripheral vision, so you can see and imagine you're hugging one of those big gym balls, okay? But draw those shoulder blades back and down together. So you're lengthening the crown of the head towards the ceiling, so getting a nice lengthened spine. You're going to inhale, and then as you exhale, you're rotating. So inhale, coming back to center and to the other side. So exhale, exhale, exhale. And to the right. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale back to center, and imagine you've got a pole down your spine, and you're rotating your spine around that pole. Each time, making sure you're dropping your shoulders down, and you're sitting up nice and tall, and inhale, and good, keeping that pattern going. 1 more in each direction. So exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, and then to the other side. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale back to center. Lovely. Okay, releasing that. We're going to go back down to your back and have a go at an exercise called scissors. So this is going to help get you that lovely length in the muscles that we're looking for. So with scissors, you take both legs up towards the ceiling, And you lift your head and shoulders. So you've got your legs up towards the ceiling. You're exhaling as you're reaching your leg away from you. Okay? And then switch. So it's exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, they come back together. And exhale, exhale, exhale. You're keeping your head and shoulders lifted. And your focus is on the leg that's lengthening away from you. And good. Lengthen that leg away from you, but you do get a nice stretch in the hamstring at the same time. If you want to make it more challenging, the lower you cross over the legs, the harder it is. If that's too challenging, then just reach the legs up towards the ceiling and switch over. So we'll go for one more on each side. And to finish, inhale, reach those legs up towards the ceiling. Exhale, lower the head and shoulders down and bring your feet down. Lovely. Let's rock you back up, and we'll go over onto 4-point kneeling. So wrists are underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, are hip distance apart. Let's just do some little bit of protraction and retraction of the shoulder blades, okay? So from this position, start nice and neutral with your neck in line with the thoracic. This is a very small movement, so as I inhale, I'm going to feel like I'm trying to push the floor away. As I exhale, excuse my voice, I'm going to retract my shoulder blades together. I'm going to inhale, push the floor away, and I'm exhaling, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together, so retracting them. Don't feel that you have to overdo the move. So we're not doing cat stretch. We are just trying to connect with those muscles that move the shoulder blades. A smaller movement than you think, and one that's really going to help you with your spine mobility and your shoulder stabilization. So inhale like you're pushing the floor away, and exhale, drawing those shoulder blades together. Good. Just go for a couple more. Retract, squeezing them together. Lovely, and push away. So let's move on to thread the needle. So have your knees still underneath the hips. We'll take the left hand and we're just going to thread it through. You're going to bend that supporting elbow and roll through here. So you're feeling a lovely rotational stretch through the spine. So inhale, take the arm out to the side. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, take it out to the side, good, and exhale, thread it through. If you want to make it more challenging, you can lift your right leg at this point, controlling it through, lift and squeeze. So inhale, and exhale, rotate. Go for one more, lovely, and exhale, rotate. Let's switch sides. I'll turn around this way so you can see me. Okay, so back into 4-point kneeling. And nice little gap between the knees so you've got that stability. Right hand lifted, and we'll start without lifting the leg. So inhale to prepare. Exhale, bend the supporting elbow, rotate through. You're watching your hand go, so you're looking at your hand. Then inhale, come back up, get a nice neutral spine. Exhale, rotate through. Just getting that really nice rotational stretch. And like I said, you can add challenge. Lift the left leg. I'll come forward so you can see me better. Rotate through. Come back to a nice neutral position. And again. Ooh, watch you don't fall like me. It's a wobbly one, that one. Okay, lovely. Right, we're going to move on to swimming prep, but this time we're going to get you to lie down flat. Okay, so arms are reaching long and legs are long as well. Okay, you keep your abdominals engaged. So we're going to lift opposite arms and legs. Okay, so inhale to prepare, and if you can, lift your right arm and your left leg. Then inhale lower and switch. Inhale and exhale, switch. Inhale lower. Exhale, switch. Inhale lower. Exhale, switch. You keep your head looking down towards the floor the whole time. And you keep your abdominals engaged. So pulling your belly button back away from the floor. And keeping that pattern going. If that's too much and you want to just do arms or legs, then there's a little alternative for you. Okay, we'll do 2 more on each side. Okay, and 1 more. Feel that lengthen through the spine, strengthening all those muscles, and we will sit back and have a nice shell stretch just to release that off. Okay, so flexing forward, take your arms by your side, engage your abdominals, and enjoy that nice bit of flexion, just releasing that pressure that we've just built up there. Take a breath in and then stack yourself back up 1 vertebrae at a time. Okay, let's have a little bit of cat stretch. So we're going to go from the middle of the spine, and we're going to lift the middle of the spine towards the ceiling. So start with your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. So take a breath in to prepare, and then as you breathe out, lift the middle of the spine towards the ceiling. Squeeze your glutes and let your head hang. Take a breath in there and then soften back and bring everything back to the neutral spine. Inhale and then exhale. Breathe in there and then soften back. Again, inhale, exhale. Trying to keep your hips over your knees. Soften back, come back to neutral, going for 1 more. Inhale and then use the abdominals. Inhale and exhale. Softening back to the neutral spine. Okay, we're going to go to some side lying work here. So we'll start with side bend on the knees, and you're going to have your wrist in line with your knees. Open the chest forward. We're going to inhale as we lift, sweeping the arm over, and then exhale, controlling it back down again. That's it. There we go. We're going for 5 of these. So lift, reaching the hips towards the ceiling, getting that lovely lateral stretch on your side there, and letting the hips come directly down to the mat. So this is 3, inhale, and then exhale. Good. And again, inhale, and exhale. We'll do 1 more. Inhale, lifting your hips, getting a really nice lateral stretch up there. Good. And exhale. We're going to move on to side kick. Okay, and you can do this lying down. You support your head with your hands. Let's bring myself forward a little bit. There we go. So hips are stacked. Okay, shoulders are stacked. going to float this top leg up, and then we're going to be reaching it forward as you inhale. So you inhale, 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 bring that leg forward. As you exhale, you squeeze and you take it back. You're going to try and maintain the same height with the leg the whole time. Exhale to squeeze. So inhale, coming forward. And exhale, squeeze. So inhale, inhale, inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Sweep it forward. Exhale, squeeze. That's it. Maintaining the same height. Squeeze that leg back. 3 more. Lovely. 2 more. And 1 more. Excellent. Let's change over sides. So we're going back to that side bend. Knees are in line with wrist. Opening up the chest as you lift. We're going to bring the hips forward. So inhale, lift. Have that nice stretch through the side, lifting your hips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, control those hips down. Inhale, lift. Getting a really nice stretch, hips towards the ceiling. Exhale down. 3 more. There we go. Controlling it down. That's it. Draw the shoulder back. And 1 more. Lovely. So back down to do that side kick. Supporting my head with my hand. Bringing those legs down, stacking the hips on top of each other. And floating that top leg up. So you're going to inhale as you bring your leg forward. And exhale as you squeeze it back. Keeping the height the same all the time. 2. Inhale, 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 and exhale, squeeze. 3. 4. That's it. Inhale as that leg comes forward, flexing the ankle. Exhale, you point your toes and squeeze it back. 3 more. You get a nice stretch of the calf as you bring the leg forward and the hamstring. And then you point your toes, taking it back. 1 more. That's it. Keep that height the same, really challenging on those glutes muscles, supporting that hip joint there. Brilliant. Okay. Let's have a nice glute stretch and a piriformis stretch as well. Helping to do all this lengthening, growing taller, all about lengthening your muscles. So let's place the left foot onto the right knee and drop that knee out to the side. Thread your hands around your right thigh and pull that thigh in towards you. Feel that lovely stretch around that whole glute, the inner thigh, and breathe into it. Okay. I'm going to take my left arm out to the side and pop my right foot down and pulling the knee across the body with my right arm. Get a different stretch here. Round the back of the thigh, round that glute area. There we go. You can always lengthen that leg as well if you're not feeling too much in that stretch. Okay, changing over side. So going to pop your right foot onto the left knee, drop the right knee out, thread the hands around the thigh and pull in towards you. That's it. Just breathing into that stretch. There we go. Nice glute stretch. Now placing your left foot down, taking your right arm out to the side. Pull that leg, pull the knee across the body and feel that stretch change. And just breathing into that, relax into that stretch. Now we're going to come up to standing. And a few more stretches. Okay, so coming up to standing, you're going to stand with your feet hip distance apart. Draw those shoulders back and down, zip up through those abdominals. Inhale there and then exhale, roll down through your spine. Let the arms hang heavy and the head hang heavy. Inhale at the bottom and then exhale as you uncurl. Drawing your head up last. I'm going to turn sideways. Inhale there, exhale, drop the chin. Little softness in the knees so the knees aren't locked out. Roll down, let the head hang heavy and the arms hang heavy. Inhale and then engage the glutes and the abdominals to help stack yourself vertebrae by vertebrae up on top and the head coming up last. Let's just open up the chest. So taking the thumbs, taking them backwards and have a nice chest stretch. That's good. Inhale and exhale. Coming down, we're going to have a nice hip flexor stretch as well. So you're going to pop your right foot forward and ease the hips forward. So letting the hips come forward, feeling a stretch down the front of the left thigh. Flex out that hip flexor. And take your left arm up and just ease over to the side. Stretching all down your left side. And then pop your left hand onto your right knee and look over your right shoulder. Straighten the right leg and drop your chest down. Try and stretch out those hip flexors. Not hip flexors, sorry, hamstrings. That's it. Okay, we'll change over legs. Left foot forward. Ease the hips forward and stretch that hip flexor. Right hip flexor. That's it. And take the right arm up and ease over. Stretch all down that side. And take your hand onto the knee and look over the left shoulder. Straightening the left leg. Going to ease your chest down. Just feel a stretch down the back of the hamstring there. Bringing both feet together, we'll uncurl. 2 more stretches to go. So we're going to stretch your ITB band now. So taking your right foot behind your left, reach your right arm up and take the arm across. Get a nice stretch down that right side. Drawing those shoulders back. And change over sides. So foot behind. So my left foot has gone behind my right. I'm taking my arm up and reaching up and over. Good, feeling that nice lengthening, making us feel taller every minute. One more nice stretch to do. If you need to hold on to something, that's absolutely fine. Okay, quad stretch. Bring those knees together, pushing your hips forward. That's it. Hips forward, feel that stretch down the front of your thighs. Excellent, and then one more. You might find one side tighter than the other. I know I do. Spend a little longer on that side, breathing in, taking the oxygen down, getting a nice stretch. And a few little shoulder shrugs. So lift those shoulders up and draw them back down. Lift up and draw them back down. Good, up and down. One more time. Lift the shoulders up and slide those shoulders back down the back of the rib cage. Well, I hope after that session you're going to feel a lot more lengthened and feel much taller with a spring in your step. I'll see you soon.